Manhattan College really allows you to have that opportunity of going to a city school, but still having that super classic college experience. Being at Manhattan College just affords you a lot of opportunities that you might not get elsewhere. I think the comm department at Manhattan College was really is something that I definitely need to give them a lot of credit for where I am today. And I had even My name is Abby Welte, and I graduated in 2017 with a comm major and a public relations concentration. I work at Involved Media, which is a small agency, and I'm currently the social advertising manager. In a nutshell, basically, when you're thinking about buying a new pair of shoes and it shows up in your Instagram feed, that's me and my team. We have tons of different clients. I run and I help manage our entire book of business when it comes to social. So we have anywhere on any given day, like 20 to 30 different clients that will have some kind of input on. The biggest chunk of my day is spent with Colgate-Palmolive. So they have this huge umbrella of all these lines of business. Up until recently, I was the only person who was running that entire account. So for me, it's a lot of multitasking and definitely learning how to prioritize in social and just in marketing, advertising, any kind of comms role in general. You end up wearing a ton of different hats. So I think learning how to prioritize is one of the most vital things. And I think that Manhattan College really helps instill that in its students, just because MC has pretty high expectations, especially within the comm department. And to meet all those expectations, it's really, really important that you're able to prioritize and you're able to work through those things, multitask. And I think that's definitely something that has helped me like 100%. But experience is really what they look for in the industry. There's always going to be somebody who will take a chance on you. Everybody's circumstance is definitely different. Not everyone can have an internship. It's especially when it's unpaid and you're supporting yourself. So really, you don't necessarily need to have an internship, but I did really appreciate the emphasis the comm department put on those experiences, whether it's an internship, a paid internship, whether you're running your own social account just so that way you have the experience, you have a portfolio, you have kind of like a lookbook. I don't even know what they call it these days, but a portfolio, I think that makes more sense. But even if you have a portfolio to show that you have experience managing these accounts, whether it's organic or paid, I think that that's super important. And I loved that the comm department really pushed all of us to have an internship at some point. I definitely appreciated the way that the comm department professors were there for you. They're happy to give it to you like it is, but they're also there to educate you and guide you. They definitely push you to do a lot of self-teaching, which is great. And I think it really prepares you for the real world rather than holding your hand through everything. And they just give you a lot of freedom. They know that this is what we want to do. They treat us like we will be the experts in that field, which we will be, and which you guys all will be in just a couple short years. So the comm department was absolutely, I think they have the best professors, but I'm biased. I wouldn't say Manhattan College is necessarily associated with being like a comm school. When you think of Manhattan College, most people will be like, oh, the engineering school. It's like, it's not just that. Actually, one of the best departments on the entire campus is the comm department. But I will say, in general, I think that the comm department gives you such a unique path into the industry. I think the cool thing about being a comm major is, even if there's not specifically one field that you're like, I've wanted to do this ever since I was a child, comm is just so wide. Like, I had a concentration in public relations, did not end up in public relations, even remotely close to it. Somehow ended up in social advertising, and it's because of the comm department. I wasn't undecided. I knew I wanted to do something in general in like comms, marketing, advertising. But when you can't pick, you're like, let's just taste test everything basically. And it's such a cool major. One thing that I think communication department students will hear a lot is, you're never going to make that much money, you're not going to be as successful, you should have been an engineer, why aren't you doing this? And that's so not the case. Like, truly, sky is the limit. You can be anywhere from somebody who's working in production to somebody who is a chief marketing officer or like the chief communication officer. And literally every single company in the entire world has a marketing department or has somebody who's in the communication department, who's doing comms, who's doing PR, who's doing advertising, who's doing something. So you can work in literally any industry that you want to. You like fashion? Great. Guess what? There's a role for you in that field. You like tech? Even more roles for you in that field. There's really no limit to what you can do with the major. And then, but my biggest piece of advice would be to definitely try to get as much experience as you can. Find different ways to showcase that as you're looking to graduate and as you're looking to enter the real world. Be involved as much as you can at Manhattan College. You're living in such a bubble, but it's such a fun bubble. And once it pops, you definitely get a little bit of a rude awakening. I will say you'll be prepared. Whatever comes your way after graduation, you'll be ready for it. You'll be able to take it on. But when you're at school, participate as much as you can. The comm department loves students who want to be a part of it. If you want to be a part of it, they'll welcome you with open arms and those experiences. So whether you're doing an internship, you're self-teaching, you're running your own accounts, or you want to actually volunteer and work in the comm department, really do as much as you can. In the end, it's only going to help.